Absolutely. And real quick, going into the last game, the biggest probably shocker, the number 4 seed Buccaneers destroyed the number 5 seed Eagles 32-9. Look, this one is something that surprised us all. But if you actually look at these two teams through the last 6 games prior to this one, Tampa's 5-1. Philly is 1-5. And after that 10-1 start, the Philadelphia Eagles they get bounced. They get bounced out of the playoff basically just right away. And this is something that's surprising. I mean, AJ Brown was not in the game, which makes a huge difference. On top of the fact that we know Hurts had the injury, and they've had a lot of injuries on the defense. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff going on. So it's a look. Shout out to the Bucks. Shout out to Baker Mayfield doing some things. What are your thoughts about this one?
I think I've been a fan of Baker Mayfield since he was at Texas Tech, Oklahoma. He was a complete baller, and honestly, I think this is his team. I think this is his opportunity. I know the Browns gave him a shot, but and then even against the Raiders at the Rams, I think that game really showed us like, wow, like you came in 2 days ago, and now you. I mean, Sean McVay's offense is hard, so I mean, I think this is his opportunity. Now, is this a long-term answer? No, but I think for right now, I think Baker Mayfield fits that role. Mike Evans, and they have a good, what's it called? Offense, defensively. They have some players from when they won the Super Bowl, but if you look at it last night at least, last night against the Eagles, they blitzed Hurts. Finally, a team got to Hurts. Like the offensive line for the Eagles, I mean, they looked like maybe in the first half, maybe in the start of the second, and maybe a little bit of the third, they looked like they didn't know, like, oh, the blitz is coming, and then they didn't block. But I guess what really shocked me was, everything about the Eagles. I mean, I just witnessed. Oh, their defense is in disarray. Their offense is. I mean, yeah, you have DeAndre Swift, and you have one receiver that you threw deep to, but there's got to be more to it than that. And I think that's why the Eagles lost.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. And Nathan, I mean, listen, AJ Brown didn't play. Kelsey announces his retirement. There's rumors about Sirianni potentially leaving. Is this the end of an era? I mean, did we see? Talk to us. What do you think?
No, it's not the end of an era. First and foremost, was this an embarrassing season? Yes. Was that an awful game? Yes. Does this happen to other teams? Yes. For personal experience, watch the team lose 6 of 7 straight. It happens. I think the biggest thing, are we talking just this game or overall the season?
Well, I mean, I'm talking going forward. I mean, I'm talking, the last 7 games, they're 1-6. They really haven't been able to get together. And then the recent things about AJ Brown scrubbing all of the social media of anything having to do with the Eagles.
I mean, I've seen other receivers do that, and AJ Brown.
And I've seen Montez Sweat did that, and then he got traded the next week.
Look, at the end of the day, I think the biggest problem starts. You kind of look at Sirianni. You heard reports Jalen, and the offensive coordinator, I think it's Brian Johnson. They were now all on the same page about what the offensive identity is. That's number one. I don't think Nick Sirianni should get fired based on this season. They were just in the Super Bowl last year. Okay, yes, there's been lackluster effort. There's not a lot of veterans. I mean, there's some veterans that will leave most likely after this year. Brandon Graham talked about next year is going to be his farewell tour. Their defense, for the most part, was suspect. We're getting on Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter's a rookie. He ain't Fletcher Cox, or Hargrave. So give him time. But I felt as though, like, they first and foremost, Matt Patricia should not be calling defense. Just me. So I do think he's definitely had to overcome some both offense and defensive coordinators getting fired. So I think knowing how Howie Roseman as a front office exec builds his teams, I believe it's going to be a better team next year. So the biggest thing is, what is the identity going to be offensively? Who's going to be the play caller defensively? And what do you need to be successful? I think you have to pack the pieces, because I get it. Guys like Lane Johnson not getting any younger. Darius Slay and Bradbury obviously couldn't rekindle their magic. I get stuff like that. So to say this is the end of an era, no. Now I could see if they miss the playoffs, it's different. But I'm not gonna say it's the end of an era because of a collapse that they had, and they'll figure it out. I watched Howie Roseman years ago when he had that super team, Michael Vick and all those boys. Next year built something different. So just got to trust, as they said in Philadelphia, trust the process.
Well, hey, maybe you're right. We'll see if you are, but I just think the rest of the division is getting a little bit stronger, and with these problems in house and the implosion, oh yeah.
I mean, the Giants are getting stronger.
I think we should pump our brakes on the Giants, man. They have pieces to the puzzle. I don't think they have the right quarterback there. Personally, their O-line is awful. Plus their injuries that they've dealt with. Yeah, let's pump our brakes on that. And Dallas, I understand they got blown out. I understand all that stuff, but they still have a powerful team. We know the moves that Washington is making. Yes, I think all four. I think we're all going to be back into the hunt. And that's why I don't think Philly, you lose the offensive defensive coordinator last year. Now you're potentially losing pieces. Again, this is right after the game. It was all speculation, so we don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
But it's easy to say that they're going to retool and, just bring all these guys back. But we don't know. We don't know how that is. We don't know if everybody's going to stay in the system and if they can rekindle that magic. I just don't think it's going to be as easy as it's been the last couple of years in division to get it done.
I agree with that. That's fair.
I mean, and respectfully, the Giants, they beat the Eagles last time they played, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
In a game that the Eagles needed to win to get to that number 2 seed, then the Eagles would have been playing the Packers. Seeing what we saw this week, we know the Packers probably still would have beat the Eagles, but we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see what it is.